1、2、3.
Can I put my balls in your jaws? Balls in your jaws. Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I? Balls in your jaws. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Coworkers podcast. We're finally back after like 2 fucking months.
Yeah, season 2, brother.
What is up? We're back. I'm Regan.
And I'm Josh.
And we are the Coworkers motherfucking podcast. Josh, how you been, man?
I've been doing all right. It has been a hot minute since we recorded, but
yes, sir.
It's some nice time to just, we were tackling this thing pretty head on, going consistently week after week, making episodes. But, some other responsibilities got in the way. We shall delve more into it later on in the episode.
In a bit.
But, it gave us an opportunity to kind of just, chill out, watch movies, attend some gatherings and whatnot that we had to do. And, and we just decided now it's time to premiere season 2 of the Coworkers podcast. I hope you guys like the fact that Space Jam was season 1's finale.
Yeah, I was out of town a little bit, birthdays here and there, family coming over and shit. So
very true.
It is what it is, right? But we saw a lot of movies recently.
You're goddamn right.
Within the span of that time, we saw a bunch of movies.
Yep.
But before we get into that,
okay,
I just want to make a quick announcement. A couple of weeks ago, Josh and I were featured on the Pick Your Brain podcast, featuring Mike, Simone, Kyle, Jonathan. For those of you guys listening, if you haven't checked that out yet, please go check it out. It was such an honor being on their podcast. And if you guys are listening to this, PYB, again, thank you so much. We had a great time.
Yep, and thank you so much to PYB podcast for showcasing us, having us on as guests. And everybody go watch them. It's good stuff. And you get to see our faces.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Their technology is way more advanced than ours here at Coworkers Industries.
But maybe with season 2 right around the corner, we got some funding a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe we could work something out.
Yeah.
But anyways, one more big shout out to PYB podcast. Make sure to check them out on YouTube, Spotify, and most general places that you get podcasts from.
Yeah, I think most platforms. Yeah.
All right.
Go check it out, guys.
So I think for this episode, since we disclosed that we watch a lot of movies, this is just going to be a relaxing game of catch up. I hope you guys like condiment jokes.
Hey Josh, do you know what comes out this Friday?
What does?
Titan.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna go watch it this Friday.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
For anybody that doesn't know, Titan is a French body horror movie that won the Palme d'Or this year.
I read the plot. Sounds fucking nuts.
Did you? I know on Wikipedia. I think the whole plot is there.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. I'm excited. I remember going to the Wikipedia page to see if there's a premise. Saw the whole plot was listed and quickly sped past it. But I read I caught a few keywords, and then at that point I was like, okay, I gotta watch this for myself. This shit seems insane. It's from the same girl who did this movie called Raw, if you're familiar with that.
Nope.
It's a French horror movie. A little bit of body horror also because it deals with cannibalism.
Oh.
And it is a movie about a woman, a vegan or a vegetarian, who goes into veterinary school. And as a part of a hazing ritual, they force her to eat meat, even though she hasn't eaten meat her entire life. And through this awakening, she discovers her interest in human meat, and that's how the movie progresses.
Jesus.
Yeah. But judging as it's from the same director, I saw a trailer of this before one of the movies I saw, and it looks fucking crazy. Yeah.
Damn, so you're gonna watch it this Friday?
I'm probably gonna watch it this Friday.
Good for you, man. I'm broke as fuck, so I'm not gonna watch a movie.
Damn, dude.
You know what movie I'm gonna watch next week? After?
Dude, Venom?
Fucking Venom.
Gonna go get him!
Gotta go get him. Wait, Josh, hold on.
Sorry. I got too turned.
Did you know that there's another movie coming out this Friday?
October 1. What is it?
Dude, it's our short
Oh
film,
shoot,
dude.
Come on, man. I didn't know you were leading me on like that.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, and if you haven't been following us on Instagram at coworkers.podcast,
You better.
there's a reason why we've been gone for a while.
And
We decided to delve into filmmaking a bit, to make a little short
just
film.
a little tad bit.
You know, written by me and Josh, directed by me, cinematography by Josh, basically. Fucking pre-visualization by Josh, edited by Josh and I. But yeah, it was this little project that we kind of just came up with at work one day. And it was just like this idea that we spitballed, you know, literally spitballed in the middle of work, in the middle of making fucking drinks.
Yep.
And then I told Josh, hey, when I get home, I'm going to write the script to this. I got home, I finished that night, I sent it to you, and you were like, yo, we can do this. And yeah, you know, it was a bit of a journey.
It was a journey, and it was a lot of fun. It was a nice first time experience.
Oh, yeah.
We learned a lot, and we hope to be making more. As a matter of fact.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Regan's been busy, writing.
Bro,
He's been writing a lot.
I'd be slapping my keys, bro.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
But like, anyways, I think by the time you guys hear this podcast, it'll already have been like out. It'll be out on October 1st, Friday, October 1st. And there'll be a link on our account and everything. But we just wanted to put that out there, get as many eyes on this.
Yep, make our formal announcement that the first ever Coworkers production studio, aka
bro.
Fellas to Gents production studio, feature will be premiering on Friday, October 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hope to see you all there. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
it'll be on YouTube.
It will be on YouTube. And more to come.
Are you excited, dude?
In the future, huh?
Are you excited? Because like with me, I'm like excited, but I'm also like a bit anxious.
I'm pretty excited.
Like releasing it.
Yeah, it's one thing where it's like, I guess the one way I can relate to it is like, I guess it's like posting art or like showing art to other people. It's like usually you would see this in a closed environment with your own eyes and like a small handful of people.
Right.
And getting other people who are unfamiliar, who are seeing it for the first time, like what you consider to be the finished product, it does bring with it anxiety. It's like, oh, what are people going to believe and stuff like that. I think to help fight those like the butterflies and whatnot in your stomach is to kind of like levy expectations, you know, and just like be a realist with yourself. It's like not kind of like, oh, this is like the best thing ever made, you know, but like mainly getting the satisfaction in like the work you put out, in what you learned from it, and getting eyes on it, because you might be looking at it and be like, oh, this isn't that good, but then other people may look at it and be like, oh yeah, this is really good, and then they could see it from a different angle that you haven't seen it from. And yeah, I'm really excited for it.
I mean, like making the actual like short film was it was a process. It was a huge process. And I think we'll touch upon that in a later podcast.
Yeah, after the premiere. We'll give a little behind the scenes.
We can dive into like the actual journey and like what we felt like making this. But yeah, for the most part, that, you know, we made a short. It's coming out on Friday, October 1st. Check it out. It'll be free on YouTube. And it'll drop around maybe the afternoon, 12 or 1. I don't know yet, but I'll post a link and shit. It'll be there.
Yep.
But yeah, that's why we've been gone for the past 2 months.
So I actually want to ask you, Regan, since we talked about making this movie, we talked about wanting to make more in the future.
Yeah.
What is one genre that you would love to make?
Is this a trick question or is this like a genuine?
This is a genuine question.
Dude, I know it would be hard, but I would love to make like an action. Like just a mini like action film. I know it'd be super hard, but you know, it is what it is.
There are workarounds, dude. Have you seen Taken 3? Like,
but I know.
Can get it's called movie magic, dude.
Oh, Christ.
Editing.
Yeah, cut 3 different times in the same fucking like shot, dude.
Of Liam Neeson climbing a fence.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like 11 cuts in
Jesus.
that. Single motion. It's so good.
But I know there's one thing that you want to make.
Oh, that's easy. You know exactly what I want to make.
And you know what? I'd be down to make a horror short too.
Yep. But like, you know, it's not like a prestige horror like Ari Aster, fucking Robert Eggers.
Oh yeah.
No, that's way out of my ballpark. Nah, dude, I want to make something like like the Evil Dead, or like, you know, super
yeah.
like low
Hell
budget,
yeah.
even though like the budget for that movie is a few $100,000. But it's like, you know, just like something fun to like make, something with like camp and cheesiness. It just seems like so much fun to make a horror movie and to write like characters that my friends would play and just have them die. Just, you know.
Have I told you like about the idea of a horror movie I want to make?
Yeah, it's based off of a story that took place in our town.
A real event that happened here. Yeah, it's kind of wild. But
there's already a movie that like is kind of based on that, right?
There is. Yeah, it's called River's Edge.
Didn't you say it was Keanu Reeves in it?
It's one of his like earliest roles.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, it was kind of based off of that, but that was more loosely based, and it was more like a drama.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. This I kind of want to put like a more of a thriller horror spin to it.
You know, personal spin, since you know.
But trying to make it more
here.
Yeah. But also try to be respectful to like the
most
actual
definitely.
like case,
the events.
You know?
Unlike certain movies, like, you know, there was this movie that came out a few years ago called The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Oh God. Yeah, with Hilary Duff.
Yeah, around the same time Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out.
Yeah.
And that was fucking like, what the hell?
I heard it was horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Like, disrespectful, like,
bad.
Incredibly like disrespectful
it is.
too.
But yeah, hopefully one of those dreams of ours will come into fruition as a part of our short filmmaking like journey.
I mean, I gotta submit a portfolio somehow, so we'll see.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess today we're gonna take it easy. Mm-hmm. You know, we honestly saw a lot of movies.
That's very true.
Together.
And we just want to catch up the audience to what we've been watching. Kind of also remember what we did watch for our end of the year list that we usually make, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of hard to watch a large amount and try to remember all of them.
Let's see, how do you want to do this? You want to how about we do this? How about we start off with the films that you and I saw together in theaters?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Okay. So, if you guys remember from the past episodes, I'm not much of a horror guy because I'm a little baby when it comes to that stuff. But Josh's ass decided to fucking drag me out of my fucking hole and plop me down in a fucking seat and
trap him
and trap me. We watched 3 different horror movies within a span of like 3 weeks.
That's very true.
Yeah. And so the first one that we watched was The Night House.
Yes, The Night House. It is I gotta make sure I'm getting this right. The director. It is a horror thriller that had its premiere last year, but came to a wider, showing this year. It is directed by David Bruckner, and
starring Rebecca Hall.
It stars Rebecca Hall. And short premise, like synopsis of the movie, is that Rebecca Hall is a grieving widow. Mm-hmm. And because of this, she starts experiencing it's a little bit like empty nest syndrome, where like she thinks someone is there when they aren't, and then it causes her and like the house she lives in to like start changing in like really strange ways. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much the basic premise. Mm-hmm. And I guess, Regan, what did you think about The Night House?
I thought it was cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I think you pointed it out after we watched it. Like, I think you like horror movies like this that aren't necessarily like, boom, like in your face, like jump scares and whatnot, but actually like...
it's a bit more about the atmosphere.
Right, exactly. And honestly speaking, I really did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give away so much spoilers, I guess, but there's an aspect of the film where something mirrors something.
Yeah, that's in the trailer.
Oh, okay, cool. So like a house mirrors a house.
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to be as vague as possible.
Yeah.
And one of our coworkers, Janina, she was talking to us about it, and she was like, "Oh, what do you guys think of the house?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what you said or what I said, but she said, "Oh, I thought it's like heaven or hell or something."
Yeah.
I go, "Oh."
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like through the magic of visual storytelling, you could have many different interpretations about different symbols in the movie.
Yeah.
And this being about the house and like what people consider a home and how it gets repurposed over time.
Yeah.
It makes for an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And cool movie.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. I liked it too. I think
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it.
I guess we can get to like the really broad stuff. Rebecca Hall's performance is really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think she sells it as a character that you really care for. Mm-hmm. And amidst like terrible circumstances, she's able to like kind of poke fun at herself in like her like grieving state to like try to like like lighten the mood a little bit because and then it just adds like a bit of like dark humor to the movie, which I thought was cool. And then throughout the movie you get a lot of these like tense moments. It's got a few like boom jump scare, but like it's used sparingly, and then it actually does have a showcase of like really scary visuals that will linger with you, and that's the stuff that I find to be really effective.
Now I kind of want to sidetrack a little bit. There's a funny instance that happened before the movie started.
Oh yes.
Do you want to talk about it, Josh?
This was the funniest part of the movie. So when we went to go watch this movie, Regan had just finished his Muay Thai class, and this was after work too. So my boy is pretty.
I had a long fucking day.
Yeah, pretty fucking tired. And I'm like, hey, let's go watch this horror movie, a genre of movie that Regan does not want to watch. So we go to the theater, we sit down, we watch all the trailers, and then there was a trailer for the movie Antlers. And it's got our boy Jesse Plemons in it. And the moment he shows up on screen, I have a Leonardo DiCaprio moment from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where I like point at the screen, and then I look at Regan, and my boy is schlumped. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna let him sleep, and hopefully there's a few more trailers so that Regan can get a few Z's in. The movie started right after.
Hey, but you know what? I woke up on time.
Yeah, he did wake up on time.
I woke up on time right when the movie started. Yeah. But yeah, we saw The Night House, and
what would you rate it?
I probably give it like a B.
A B?
Yeah.
Nice.
I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed it.
I gave it a 6. Like it's solid, and I definitely liked it. It's got aspects about it that I think are really good, just not really like the most exemplary example. But I'm glad a movie like this does exist.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave David Bruckner, who was more known for like some of his short films. Like there's this anthology movie called VHS.
I've heard about this.
And he has what's considered to be like the best bit in one of the VHS movies. So the fact that he has a bigger budget and like he like penned the story and then he was able to make this, it's a really cool opportunity.
Nice. And then there's another movie that Josh dragged me out to.
Yep, the second horror movie. Right after The Night House. It was like 2 weeks after.
Yeah. No, I'd say even less.
Like a week?
I'd say a week.
Okay. What is that movie, Regan?
Candyman. The pseudo sequel / remake.
Soft reboot?
Soft reboot almost?
Yeah, it's like
it's weird to classify, but Candyman starring I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher his name.
Abdul
Mateen, yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck, sorry. If I butcher his name, I apologize. And Tiana Paris.
Yes.
And
it is produced by Jordan Peele's production company, Monkey's Paw.
And it's directed by Nia DaCosta.
Yep.
Who's helming the next Captain Marvel movie. I fucking enjoyed this movie, dude.
Yeah, this movie is really cool.
I was like,
it's got a lot of nice aspects to it.
I mean, because before we went into it, you're like, well, there's obviously going to be some socio-political commentary. That's what you said, right? It's Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
it's
and the fact that the original Candyman is about a lot of socio-political things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and so obviously, like, based off the trailers alone, it has to do a lot with gentrification.
Yes, and like the police and
absolutely
things of that nature.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if I suggest to those listening, go watch this movie because it's a well-crafted movie.
Yep. And
I don't want to give too much away, but I think that in terms of horror and in terms of like that political commentary or whatever, it doesn't. There's a good balance between both of them, where it makes for a very effective story. And yeah, I don't know what are your thoughts on it?
I think Yahya Abdul Mateen. Sorry if that was the butchering again, but I think he delivered a really good performance, and I've seen him in a few things other than this. Most notably, I remember him being Black Manta in
That's right.
Aquaman. And like he got kind of shafted, and Black Manta's kind of was like a whatever character in that movie, but after I watched Aquaman, I saw the Watchmen series. and he plays a very vital character, and he is so fucking good in that show. And just to see him in this and be a little bit more of like a playful character and whatnot at the beginning, and then the way that the story progresses and whatnot, I think he gave a very nice performance. There's a lot. I think what the movie struggles with, though, is the fact that it wants to say a lot with such little time. Like, there's a lot of like kind of like topics it like kind of touches on, but it's not until like the movie finds one and like latches onto it, and then it becomes a bit more focused, where I think the pieces really fall into place. My analogy for the movie, fittingly enough, is the fact that I compared it to a kid in a candy store, where like they see everything they want and they just like grab it, and their arms are full, like candy spilling out and whatnot. It's like this movie has like so many ideas. Some of them get kind of like left behind on the wayside. They talk about it for like maybe a few lines, and then they find the one thing that they really like, and then they drop everything, and then they kind of like roll with that towards the end credits. When it finally focused on it, I think it became really, really a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool sequences and playful use of like camera trickery, because they need to use mirrors a lot in the movie, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like an hour and a half, which is the one detriment I have towards the movie, is the fact that it is short. I think maybe like a few more, like 15 20 minutes to really get things set up for like a really nice payoff would be really good. But yeah, overall I'd say it was a fun experience.
Yeah, I agree. What would you rate it?
I gave it a 6 also. Like, I
Nice.
liked it, and then like there are some things that like I have some gripes with, but it's still overall like pretty fun.
I think I'm in between like a B plus and a B. I'm like hovering between those.
Okay.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the cinematography, especially in the film,
Yeah, there's a lot
I thought
of cool.
it was like, oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool sequences and whatnot. I really like the. See what I'm talking about, where it's like a building slowly pans outwards.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was my favorite shot.
I like that. I like that part a lot.
And then the last horror film that Josh dragged me out of my house to see.
Arguably the best of the 3.
Probably the best of the 3. Malignant.
The new James Wan joint.
Oh my God, Malignant. So, hey, sorry, ShangChi. Yes, your action scenes were done by the great Brad Allen, came out of Jackie Chan's school.
Yep.
Our boy Kevin, his cousin, is
helped be the stunt coordinator.
Yeah, is a stunt coordinator and plays Death Dealer in the film. And your action scenes were great. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish, but Malignant had the best action scene of the year, bar none, bro.
That might come to a shock to anybody who has seen a trailer for Malignant and is familiar with James Wan's work, because this is way different than anything he has done, and way different than any mainstream studio. Like way different than like what horror movie a mainstream studio will put out.
What I do want to say, I know the trailers make it look like it's like an Insidious movie or like a Conjuring movie.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing you can compare it to.
Don't go into that thinking that you're gonna get this.
Yeah.
Right. Don't go into the movie thinking you're gonna get The Conjuring or Annabelle or whatever the fuck. Right.
It's kind of like the marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Because after you watch the movie, you may think like, how do you even pitch a movie like this?
Oh, absolutely.
How do you pitch a movie? How do you cut a trailer so you don't spoil too much of it? And like keep the fact that like this and keep like the purpose of the movie like completely under wraps.
Yeah. But
would you like to give a synopsis of the movie?
I can do it. Okay, so there's this woman. What's her name?
Madison.
She has these haunting nightmares.
Yeah.
Of
every time she goes to sleep.
Every time she goes to sleep, of these people being murdered.
She thinks they're just kind of like dreams, right? Like really vivid nightmares that she's having.
Yeah.
Until she finds out on the news that these murders are happening in real life.
Yeah.
And that's the mystery of the movie.
Yeah. And for some reason, she knows when it's gonna happen and where it's gonna happen.
Yep.
So does she have something to do with it?
Yeah. Is she the killer?
Oh,
Who knows?
I like that.
Yeah, you never know.
But before we went into the film, you kept saying that James Wan was heavily inspired by Italian giallos.
Yeah, he for anybody who is unaware, a giallo is a movie from essentially a bygone era. It is
like the 60s, right? 60s, 70s?
70s. Yeah, predominantly 70s, where so the name Giallo is derived from the fact that they take inspiration from these old like mystery detective novels that were colored yellow in Italy, and they usually played with themes of like a lot of like femininity.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of like female like protagonist and whatnot. There are these elements to the villain, quote unquote, where they are considered a black glove killer. Like they always wear like dark clothing, really extravagant set pieces when it comes to like the way they murder their victims and like the visual style. This genre of film is directly the inspiration for our American slasher movies. Yeah, and this is like a little history lesson for you guys.
Right.
And this is from the 70s. And James Wan wanted to honor that genre and to make a modern interpretation of a giallo. And I think this movie like mostly succeeds in that.
Oh, absolutely. It's very campy.
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
the
fucking
thing.
camp.
The one thing that you can't really sell through a trailer is like campiness or like a horror comedy, because like I don't really know if that's like what people want to watch, especially since with like James Wan's filmography.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like we expect like haunted house movie.
So we saw the film with a big group.
Huge fucking crowd.
Group. And suffice to say, some people weren't satisfied with the film.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, a lot of us were, but there was a good chunk of people who were like, what the fuck were we watching?
Yeah, the group of people we took, it was about 18 people. And I would honestly say it's like a 50-50 split of who liked it and who didn't. And that is very telling of like what people are going to think of this movie. It's so polarizing.
Yeah.
But if you are familiar with like old-timey horror movies, like something like the seventh Jason like sequel, or like these really obscure like back
Texas
at the
Chainsaw
VHS
Massacre?
store. No, not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But like if you're familiar with like maybe finding a random horror movie on like Sci-Fi Network, or you go to the back of a Blockbuster from way back in the day and you see this just like wacky like VHS case, it's that type of movie. You get that type of feeling with like almost all regards to
like
the
kind
filmmaking.
Kind of like B-movie-esque.
Yeah, B-movie-esque. And I loved this movie for that.
Yeah.
I adored that like I haven't seen something like this like done in a while, nor have I seen something with like this amount of like prestige attached to it. You know, like James Wan, he's a very successful like concept runner for like Saw, Insidious, Conjuring, and then he just goes out and makes this campy giallo movie that doesn't even feel like it should belong in this era. But I'm so glad that he did, because he wanted to do exactly what he wanted to do, and it's different, and it's so cool. So cool.
And I think visually, like, compared to the 3 that we watched, I know I said I really liked the cinematography in Candyman.
Yeah.
But the visuals here, and the use of color, I was like, oh. There was a moment where you and I, like, we both pointed at the screen.
Yeah, it's that scene.
Yeah.
That fucking scene. Yeah. For anybody that has seen the trailer, at the end of the trailer, there is what I considered a giallo shot. Yeah. Where it's the main character lying down on a bed and it's just bathed in red lighting. This like super contrasty bright colors, almost neon colors, is very reminiscent of a particular giallo filmmaker named Dario Argento, who is famous for making I think it's called the Three Witches trilogy, but it's like things like Suspiria and whatnot, and that has this really vibrant Technicolor palette, and like that is interspiced a little bit into this movie, and like it's just so cool. Like I haven't seen this, and then it's a lot of fun.
What would you rate Malignant?
I gave it a 7.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just how like ridiculous and like to the point where like the movie is almost obnoxious with like how like it just wants to be fun, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I commend it, and it made me a bigger fan of James Wan because I've seen the original Saw, the one that him and Lee Winnell did. I've seen the original Conjuring, Conjuring 2, some of the Insidious movies,
Aquaman.
and like Aquaman. And you know, like they're good, they're serviceable movies, but like he wanted to do something that was different.
Yeah.
And yeah, props to him.
Yeah.
What would you give it?
I'd give it a B+.
Nice.
Dude, like this was honestly a surprise to me. You know,
it was
because I thought I was gonna be like, oh, paranormal shit, but then there's a bit of body horror. That's as much as I'm gonna say. Body horror. That
shit was good.
And I was like, hey, yo, what the fuck is this? And then the police station thing happens. And I go, I'm in. Like, this is it. I like this movie.
It's so good.
This is so fucking good.
That's the problem with the movie. It's like the first half feels so like
disjointed,
off kilter.
Yeah,
you're like, there's something weird about like the way everybody's talking, the way everybody looks.
It's so awkward. It's
very awkward, and you're like, what the fuck is this? What am I watching? And then something happens, and then you're like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Now it clicks.
Yeah.
And at that moment, the movie will like, you will like buy into the movie, or the movie will just completely lose you. Like that's what happens in this movie. But for me and Regan, it clicked.
Yeah.
And it clicked really well. Go see it. It's on HBO Max.
Go see it before it goes away. And now a word from our sponsor. So if you're like me and Josh and you want to make your own podcast, why not use Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. So there are certain tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere that podcasts can be listened to. On top of that, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's free. So, what are you guys waiting for? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
And we are back. Little word from our trusty sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for this next segment, we are going to discuss some movies that Reagan and I have both seen, but we didn't go to the theaters to see it together.
Yeah.
And the first movie we would like to talk about is David Lowery's The Green Knight.
The Green Knight.
Reagan, what did you think about The Green Knight?
A story about chivalry, about motherfucking bravery, motherfucker, with amazing cinematography.
Yes.
And with Dev fucking Patel, bro. And Alicia Vikander. Come on now.
Yeah, Alicia Vikander, Dev Patel. Dev Patel giving a fabulous
I want
performance.
to see nominations for these movies in the Oscars next year.
Yeah, me too.
I know it came out a little early, but I want to see nominations for it.
It's got to get one for at least, I would say, cinematography.
Absolutely.
That, it needs it. It's so fucking good.
Absolutely.
Maybe adapted screenplay?
Maybe. I'm down.
But yeah, for those unfamiliar, The Green Knight is a modern retelling of an old Arthurian tale known as Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. And that
Gawain or Garland? I'm just kidding. Keep going.
Dude, you tripped me up. I was like, is his name Garland? Nah. But for those unfamiliar with the source material, this is a tale as old as time. It's like it only exists in fragments. So, and it's written in this really old-timey English.
Yeah.
So creators who have tackled this material before are free to put a lot of creative liberty into it. And David Lowery wrote and directed this movie, and he put a coming-of-age spin to it. And I thought it is just remarkable. It
beautiful.
is really fucking good.
So fucking good.
I'm even wearing my...
He's wearing the motherfucking Green Knight sweater, bro.
For this episode.
Damn,
you guys can't see it.
I should have worn my Green Knight shirt, bro. Fuck.
But you can get a glimpse of it if you peep the PYB podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go.
But anyways, I took people to watch this movie for my birthday.
Yeah.
This was the best birthday present that I could ask for.
There you go.
And like, I took like, let's say 7 people, And I think a lot of people were lost on the movie. Even like I was trying to like put all the pieces together. And it is,
I agree.
It's so dense and there's so much to take in. But through like a visual and experiential like film, like you just go there and just get washed over with like what's presented to you. Man, is this movie like magical?
Oh yeah,
it is so just good. Ridiculously good.
Now off with your head.
And like I think to like top it all off, I thought the story was just, it was so good. God damn. But yeah, is there anything else that you want to say without giving away too much of the movie?
I don't know, man. It's just a beautiful movie.
I would say that for anybody who is interested in seeing this movie, brush up on a synopsis of the original tale.
Also, I want to add, don't go into this thinking you're gonna get Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Or fucking Narnia or whatever the fuck. Or Harry Potter.
It's not that kind of movie.
It's not that kind of movie.
It's a hero's journey, but in a different way.
But be very patient with it. Be very patient with
this movie. Like demands your attention and like your full effort going into it, like as a viewer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a rather challenging like movie to watch. I guess that's not something that like that's not a concept we've discussed yet in on this podcast, but the idea that like a movie could like challenge a viewer to like be attentive, to kind of like pick up the pieces and to like kind of assemble it together yourself. I would recommend that like you do give this movie the benefit of the doubt, watch it, and to just like come up with your own interpretation, because the movie, like it does have a semblance of like what it wants to talk about, but it leaves a lot of it up to interpretation.
Yep.
And yeah, also Ralph Ineson as the titular Green Knight. His fucking voice is sick.
Josh, what would you rate it?
At first, when I watched it, I gave it an 8, but after thinking about it for a long time, I'm giving it a 9.
That is high.
It's my second favorite movie of the year.
Woo! And we're only halfway through. We're like a little over halfway. We still got a bunch of movies coming out.
But I'm so glad I watched it.
I think I give it like an A minus or A minus.
It's so goddamn good.
That shit was good.
But anyways, the next movie we watched, not together, but you know, we want to talk about it, is
The Suicide Squad from James Gunn.
James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Holy fuck.
This was a fun romp.
I love this movie.
I like it a lot too.
I thought it was so much fun, dude. Holy shit.
Like I loved the like right from the get-go, the camera follows Michael Rooker's character,
Savant,
and you're led to believe that like he's the main character, you know, and then the movie then transitioned into being its namesake. Death everywhere, in the funniest way possible, and it's so ridiculous, and it plays into like James Gunn's strength in his earlier movies, because he used to make really strange, offbeat, dark humor movies. He has this movie called Super with Dwight Schrute from The Office.
Oh my god.
You know, I don't know why his name isn't coming to me, but he has that movie. He has this horror movie called Slither, and like both of those like really campy and like comedic, but like also like extreme in the sense that like, oh, it's like gratuitous.
Yeah.
This movie kind of like plays on those aspects of James Gunn's older films, where he's given this property and he can just do whatever the fuck he wants with it. And within the confines of it being a Suicide Squad, I think it did a pretty splendid job at that.
Oh yeah. And you know, I know it's a little unfair to compare this to the first one, but I would say this time around, I loved every single one of the characters. Yeah,
they actually took Joel Kinnaman's Sergeant Dude Bro character and gave him
a personality. Personality. You know? But yeah, dude, I just had so much fun with this.
Yeah, it's like, man, I think everybody fit their role really well. I really liked the action set pieces. I loved the idea of like having like chapters in the movie, almost like a comic book.
Yeah.
And then they like tackle different things. The action is pretty damn solid. Everybody brings their A game, and it's just a fun movie. Yeah.
What would you rate it?
I gave it a 7.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
I liked it quite a bit. I love the music too, dude. The very end, Ratcatcher, you know, holding it up, call them the homies. that music they play, you know what it's called, the song? It's called Ratism.
I mean, isn't like a lot of the music that was like in the movie a lot of like alternative like rock almost?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like they did the same thing where it's like, you know, James Gunn has an ear for music and placing the correct song at certain points in the movie or whatnot, and it shows again here. He did it with Guardians, he did it again here. And it's really, really fun.
Yeah, I gave it like an A minus. Really good. Then,
you know, if there's a beach full of dicks in the name of justice, I will eat all of them.
I really like John Cena in it too.
Dude, his tiny whities.
Yeah. Oh my fucking. Oh Jesus.
Oh wait,
Christ.
that's a question I'll ask you then. Who was your favorite character in the movie? Maybe not singular one, but like
question.
two.
That's a good question.
Because since this is an ensemble cast, there's so many goddamn people in this movie.
Two?
Yeah.
God, they're all so good though. Like I honestly really like all of them. For sure, Peacemaker. I don't like John Cena as a wrestler, but here he's fucking great.
Yeah.
And
he really saves his he really saves himself from the performance known as Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah, either Peacemaker or I'm torn up between Idris Elba's character, Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Right? Or King Shark.
I like
Or maybe even Ratcatcher. I don't know, man. They're all good,
all really good.
Dude.
They're all really good.
It's hard to choose. But how about you?
I would have to say Ratcatcher and Polka Dot Man.
Oh, nice.
I see myself a lot in Polka Dot Man.
That's your fucking mother.
Oh my god, I'm a superhero. He's so good. I love that guy. David Dasmalchian, shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in this movie. You guys did a phenomenal job. But yeah, that's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
The Suicide
Squad.
And okay, moving on to the third movie.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
A little known indie movie.
26th Marvel movie?
It's
MCU
26?
movie? Yeah, 26.
You're fucking
That's
lying.
just movies. That's
we
just
have
movies.
This many movies.
That's not even motherfucking the Disney
Dude,
Plus
I'm gonna
series.
need to hit this motherfucking thing because there's so many goddamn movies. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it took them this long for us to finally get an Asian superhero.
And you know what? I fucking enjoyed this movie, especially on rewatch.
Yeah,
I
gotta give this a second watch.
I really enjoyed this movie. I think, bar none, Tony Leung, best part of the movie.
I ain't arguing. The villain, it's like, you know, you go to watch this movie to see like the titular character do something heroic, but I don't even think Shang-Chi is the heart of the movie. I think the villain is
Tony Leung. Yeah.
I think Tony Leung is.
Wenwu. Yeah,
Wenwu. I think because so much of the movie focuses on him and it has to do with his plight.
Yeah.
And you know, it has its rippling effects on Shang-Chi and the whole family.
Yeah.
And I was really, really like invested in him as a character. Also because he is the most prolific like Chinese actor.
And you know what? No disrespect to everyone else. No disrespect to Awkwafina, Meng'er Zhang.
No, none at all. None at all.
I mean, I think their performances were great too.
Yeah.
You know, I think Simu Liu was top notch in this movie. But Tony Leung, bro, fuck.
Yep. His
took it to another level, bro.
You know, this is his like American English
first
debut.
American film.
After being widely considered like the best actor in China.
The GOAT, one of the GOATs.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that like I feel like this movie, what it serves as, it's like a speed run, like a history lesson to regular movie audiences on Chinese cinema.
Yeah.
Because you get your the many different genres that they might want to tackle: martial arts, fantasy, like family drama and whatnot. There's also like how it's integrated within like the actual choreography of the fighting too, like wire work, some like John Woo shit.
Yeah,
you
some
know?
like or
Crouching
like
Tiger, you
or,
know,
or yeah, what I learned from your good neighbor Austin, wuxia films from China.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it actually recontextualized the latter half of the movie.
Yeah.
Like when it gets to be the more fantastical stuff.
Yeah.
And like I understand that like Marvel wants to end their movies with like a big like CGI, you know, like blowout, like, you know, like something like a spectacle, you know, like something like wow, it's like awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
but then there's like another like angle to it because of the fact that these Chinese movies do have things like that, and I'm just like, wow, like that's so cool. There's also other things that, like, when I read comments of people's like thoughts on the movie, the line where when Awkwafina and ShangChi were at the sisters a Fight Club place, and the guy was like introducing them, and they were like, oh, sorry, our Chinese isn't very good, we speak English, and he says, don't worry, I speak ABC.
Do you know what that stands for?
American born Chinese.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then like I first heard the line, I was like, ABC, oh, I get it, like the English alphabet.
Yeah. I first heard that term in Wayne Wang's film Chan is Missing. And it has to do a lot with Asian American and like Asian American identity.
I see.
And also, if you guys go watch that film, it's amazing. But that's the first time I heard that, and to hear it here, I'm like, oh wow, because it makes sense. Like, one thing I liked about the film was that it's Asian Americanness and how it tackles not necessarily tackle, I guess. I mean, because they don't go in depth, but they touch upon it.
Yeah.
The idea of being Asian versus Asian American.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the different cultural stuff that Asian Americans kind of go through.
Yeah, it's a Eastern versus Western philosophy and whatnot, you know?
Yeah, and I love that aspect of it. I just wish they went into it a little more. Yeah. But you know what? For what we got, I was like, okay, I like it. You know, I love it.
I would me personally, I think like the first leg of the movie, like the first half, man, that shit is like, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Like when it's a bit more small scale and you really focus on the fighting and whatnot and like all the stuff that makes this specific movie special.
Yeah.
That's when it excelled.
Yeah.
It was so good. The bus scene with the music and everything. Like, dude, I rewatched that scene where like the goon like pushes over Awkwafina and he does that punch and then like the beat of the music comes in, and I was just like, oh, that's so fucking cool. Like, oh, it all comes together so nicely.
Yo, dude, shout out to Brad Allen, bro. Rest in peace, bro.
And it's
the action scenes in this film,
most definitely
so good. And I think like my only criticism, well, not maybe my only, but like my criticism of the film is when it gets to the third act. It gets a little off the rails there.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. I mean, although I'm pretty sure it's in the trailers, but again, you said it's more on the more fantastical side of things.
The more fantastical, like Marvel type of like wrapping it up, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
what it needs to do.
It gets to the point where it's like, oh, you know, like
it starts.
I get it. Like, I get why they want to do it, but it's like, I kind of just I wanted to bring it back down, you know? Like, excuse me. I want to bring it back down to like Shang-Chi and his dad Wen-Wu. And, like that central,
the stuff
like, conflict
that made it as effective as it was. But I mean, given that, you know, it's like it doesn't, you know, hamper on the entire viewing experience.
Absolutely.
And a lot of fun. Regan, what did you rate it?
I'm at like a B+ or A-.
B+, A-.
Although I will say, I think it's easily in the top 10 of my favorite MCU movies.
Nice. Yeah. I think when I was coming up with the grade for this movie, it's like I kind of split it up into two movies because like I think that's the real big like disjointedness in my head, is the fact that like the first half and the second half kind of feel like different, where it's like the first half I could really feel its inspiration of like the martial arts movies and whatnot, and then it slowly inched towards and then became like a Marvel movie essentially towards the end. So for the first half, I give it like a really strong like 7.
Yeah.
And like it's like almost like an 8. But then all like the Marvel stuff, like towards the end of it, it was like I'm leaning more of like a 6, of like a 5 to a 6.
Yeah.
So I kind of averaged those two, so it's like a strong 6 to a light 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Is like what I felt on the movie as a whole.
Yeah. But again, like for me at least, the second act doesn't. No, the second half. The second half.
Yeah.
Doesn't really like take away from like the movie as a whole. You know, I still found enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
I just wish they just took it down a notch. You know, because that's where it just really like it was just so good.
You know? Most definitely.
But yeah, those are the 3 movies that we watched, not together, but together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Together but not together.
But I guess right
to wrap
now,
it up.
Yeah, right now we're just gonna do a little speed run of some films that we saw since our last episode. And boy, I've watched quite a lot. Did you watch quite a lot?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I watched about 7.
Oh, 7. Oh, here we go. You want to go first since you have like, yeah, you know, go first, Josh. Go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll try to make this
speed
quick.
run, baby. Let's get it.
Speed run. Pig.
Oh,
my favorite movie of the year
so
far.
Oh,
Nicolas Cage stars in an anti-revenge movie about a man looking for his lost pig. It's fucking good. Do not expect like a John Wick from the trailers. 9 out of 10. British horror movie called Censor came out this year. Very small scale. It's an interesting concept and story with like about an interesting point in history where people were hysterical about violence in media, and it's about a woman who is a part of an organization who censors movies, and she starts seeing that her life and the movies start like intermingling with each other. Really great directorial debut. I give it a 7.
Video nasties,
yep. And like Satanic Panic and whatnot. Tetsuo the Iron Man. This is a really strange black and white Japanese body horror cyberpunk movie from 1989. And oh boy, is this strange, but did I enjoy it. It's not for the faint of heart. It's on YouTube. If you watch it with the closed door. I gave it a 7.
Jesus.
Now we are going to do a speed run of some bad movies that I watched.
Here we go.
All right, buckle in, everybody. Cinderella on Amazon, starring Camila Cabello.
Cabello, bro, not Caballo.
Fuck. Yeah, Camila Cabello. Caballo means horse in Tagalog. But it's weird.
Garbage.
It's so strange. Yeah, like why 7 Nation Army in this movie? 2 out of 10. Kissing Booth 3. Move aside. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, The Dark Knight. We have a new trilogy amongst our ranks. It is the Kissing Booth trilogy. Yeah, this shit is fucking crazy. I give it a 2. You watch terrible people make terrible decisions, and it's not even fun, bro. Yeah, I gave it a 2. He's All That on Netflix.
Oh boy.
A modern reinterpretation of She's All That, according to sources. It's a TikTok movie.
Oh god.
It looks like it belongs on TikTok, and everybody is I'm hard pressed to believe this movie's even real. 1 out of 10.
Jesus.
Event Horizon, people consider this the director of Resident Evil's best movie, Paul W.S. Anderson. That's not saying a lot. The bar is really fucking low. It's like under
Event
the earth.
Horizon, hold on. Who's that starring?
Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this one, yeah.
Yeah, people herald it as like campy, like schlocky goodness. It's not. Go watch Malignant instead. What I give it? A 3? 3 out of 10? Yeah, that's mainly all the bad movies I watched. And the last movie I watched is this black and white Japanese erotic horror movie called Onibaba. Otherwise known as Devil Woman. It is so bold in like its technical aspects. Man, it like a good watch. It almost feels like a theater play. You like watch it like as it transpires. Jesus. And the end is pretty like like it kind of gets you if you vibe with like the message in the movie. 7 out of 10. It's really good.
All right, now that was Josh's speed run. Now here's mine. I don't think I'm gonna give a description only because I watched a lot.
Okay, yeah.
So first, Snake Eyes. Have you seen Snake Eyes?
No.
Good. D. The Terminator, the first one. Oh shit. Banger, bro. A. RoboCop. Banger.
OG RoboCop.
OG RoboCop. Let's see, Ong Bak.
Ooh,
bro, the martial arts in this film, fucking insane. I fucking love this film. A. All right, The Shape of Water.
Oh, Fish.
Woo.
Ooh,
good, good, very good. A. Singing in the Rain.
Ooh,
classic Hollywood film, like B+.
You said Singing in the Rain. I instantly thought of Clockwork Orange. Moving on.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Ooh, monkey.
the main character going through space
Yeah,
That's
the
how
wormhole.
that's
the
how I
black-
felt watching this fucking movie, bro. Just fucking absolutely bonkers. Jungle Cruise.
Oh shit, Jesse
Jungle
Plemons
Cruise
again.
Jesse, hi there. Fucking B, bro.
Oh my.
It's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
I have
fun.
to watch that.
9 Days.
Oh, you're
from
telling me
Edson
about this.
Oda.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful film. Beautiful film, bro. I love it. The Paper Tigers. Shout out to Andy Lee. I don't think you're watching this or listening to this, but we work with your cousin Kevin. He's in this film.
Yeah, you're telling me about that.
Man, this film was a lot of fun. I just wish there's a lot more I guess martial arts or fighting in it.
I see.
Like a B. Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
Oh, the bus movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, this is a pretty tense movie.
Yup, it is.
I kind of fuck with it. Reminiscence. Have you seen Reminiscence?
No.
Good. F. That is like the lowest score I've ever given a movie, I think. Actually, no, the second lowest score. Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Goated.
Fucking banger, bro. We live 10 minutes away from the Skynet Industries or whatever the fuck.
Dude.
It's right there. We can hop on the freeway. It's right
yes,
there.
we can, dude. The motherfucking T-1000.
It's fucking...
Ooh.
It's right there. Cherry. Have you seen Cherry?
No.
Good. D. I feel so bad because Tom Holland is like trying so fucking hard.
Tom Holland's butthole is trying too. All right, moving on.
Jennifer's Body.
That's a banger.
It's
I like that
really
movie
good.
a lot.
I enjoyed it.
Dude, you know I watched it with Daniel, and then I was like, "Hey, what do you remember about the movie?" He's like, "Yo, the two girls making out."
Oh my fucking dog, bro. Fucking dog. I give it like A minus around there. An American in Paris. Another musical. I think starring Gene Kelly. Yeah, starring Gene Kelly. Pretty fucking good. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Influenced La La Land.
Yeah,
Let me put that out there.
I think you told me that.
I give it like A minus.
Nice.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Dude, shit's fucking great. What the hell?
I fucking love this movie.
That
dude.
movie's awesome.
Dude.
Dude, the lady with the fucking voice and the frog dude.
Oh my god. Did you the husband of that lady?
Mm-hmm.
He's in ShangChi. He's the old man in the village in Talo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Dude, ShangChi was already in Kung Fu Hustle, the boy with the rings?
It's canon. It's
canon, dude. Hell yeah.
And then I saw Ip Man.
Oh, nice.
With Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen.
Oh, so good. Now I need to see the other three.
1v10? Dude, he's going in with the punches.
Yeah, dude. I need to see the one with Mike Tyson.
Oh, that.
Oh, God. I gave it like an A minus.
Nice.
Let's see. Everything Before Us from Wong Fu Productions. I don't know. Do you know who Wong Fu Productions is?
I know who Wong Fu is. You lost me up until you said Wong Fu, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, this is their first feature film. A little corny, like a little corny, cheesy, sappy.
Yeah.
I gave it like a B plus.
All right.
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shutter Island from Marty.
Marty. Shout out to Marty. And Leo.
Marty, Leo, and Mark Ruffalo, dude.
Oh yes.
You know what? It was. I was really intrigued the first half, but it kind of teetered off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it just kind of got lost in its own world almost.
Yeah.
But hey, I think it made for an interesting interesting suspense thriller-ish film.
Yeah.
So I'll give it like a B minus C plus.
Here's a question I have for you about Shutter Island.
Here we go.
The big thing everybody talks about, I'm pretty sure this is well disclosed now, so it's not really a spoiler, is the twist.
Mm-hmm.
How effective, and did you see the twist coming? And how effective do you think it all was?
Well, considering that I already knew the twist was coming,
I'd
say it was mostly effective. I don't know. I feel like there wasn't enough of like doubt that it gives to the audience. Like, okay, maybe he's not telling the truth, because if anything, it's like he's almost being gaslighted by the entire people, like by everyone there. So there's not enough of that, like, oh my god, is he
his own genuine like
his own genuine like mentality, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, and then I saw The Red Shoes from Powell and Pressburger. What a fantastic film, dude. Fantastic film from the 40s. If you guys saw Black Swan, I think you guys I think this heavily inspired Black Swan.
I see.
Although not to like the extent of like a thriller almost, right? Yeah. But yeah, it's really good, man.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. And then I saw Saturday Night Fever.
Oh shoot,
with
the
John
Bee Gees.
Travolta, bro. Bee Gees, bro. I thought this movie was gonna be about dancing. Nope, it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
I give it like a B plus B. Then I saw Jaws.
Oh, we need a bigger boat.
Yeah, classic Jaws movie.
Goated, dude. The king of the summer blockbuster.
Josh, I think this movie perfectly exemplifies the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm just put that out there.
Okay.
Then I saw Scanners from David Cronenberg.
Oh, dude, Son of Head.
See, look at this. Now Josh is making me go watch some horror thriller body horror.
Yeah, I'm telling this dude to go watch The Fly now.
Yeah, Jesus. You know what? Not enough head explosions. I give it like an A. And then I saw Train to Busan.
Woo! Korean cinema.
What a good fucking film, dude. This shit's good. I really liked it. I gave it like an A. And then the last film I saw is Shiva Baby.
I've heard inklings about this movie.
How this film is so uncomfortable, so tense, and so awkward, but it's so fucking good, bro. So good. It's on HBO Max for those listening. It's 78 minutes. It's easy watch, tight watch. Easy. But go see this film because it's fucking bonkers.
All right.
Yeah, give it an A. So yeah.
And that's all that we got, folks.
Yeah,
that's all we watched.
Yeah,
that's our discussions of what we've been up to.
We're back. We're back, Josh.
Yeah, we should hopefully be back doing this weekly, unless some emergency happens. Maybe another short film. You never know.
Dun dun dun.
But yeah, and it feels good to be back.
Oh, absolutely.
Regan, anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I guess just be on the lookout for our short film. Again, if you're listening to this, it probably already came out. So go check out the YouTube link in our bio on Instagram at coworkers.podcast. Yeah, anything else, Josh?
Nope, this should be it.
Alrighty, well, it was fun to be back, and excuse me, I can't wait to do this again.
Most definitely.
But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this podcast, please let us know, comment, follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen to us. Follow us on Instagram at coworkers.podcast because that is where you will get the link to watch our short film. But yeah, I'm Regan.
And I'm Josh.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.